President Joe Biden has made a strategic legal move that could significantly block former President Donald Trump's plans to expand fossil fuel drilling in the United States. Using the 1953 Outer Continental Shelf Lands Act, Biden implemented permanent protections on 625 million acres of offshore waters, including areas along the East Coast, West Coast, Eastern Gulf of Mexico, and Alaska's North Bering Sea. This move effectively prohibits future oil and gas drilling in these areas, presenting a legal hurdle that Trump may find impossible to reverse. The Outer Continental Shelf Lands Act allows presidents to permanently protect offshore areas from drilling. Importantly, the law does not contain any provisions enabling subsequent presidents to reverse these protections without congressional approval. Given the current fractured state of Congress, it is highly unlikely that Trump could muster enough support to rewrite the law, especially considering the slim Republican majority and ongoing internal divisions. Biden's decision has already drawn criticism from Trump's camp, with his press secretary, Caroline Leavitt, calling it disgraceful and accusing Biden of political revenge. She even claimed that Trump would push forward with drilling plans despite the legal protections. However, the reality is far more complicated, and Trump's path to achieving his drill, baby, drill agenda faces serious obstacles. The former president has built much of his energy policy rhetoric around ramping up fossil fuel production to please oil industry donors. Reports indicate Trump held a closed-door meeting at Mar-a-Lago with oil executives, during which he explicitly sought large campaign donations in exchange for favorable policies. Biden's move disrupts this quid pro quo dynamic, forcing Trump to focus on Congress rather than unilateral executive actions to advance his drilling plans. Biden justified his decision by citing the need to prevent irreversible environmental damage and asserting that the U.S. already produces enough oil and gas to meet its energy needs. Under his leadership, the United States has become the world's top oil producer, pumping over 13 million barrels per day earlier this year. The U.S. has also maintained its status as the leading natural gas producer. These facts counter Trump's claims of an energy crisis and accusations that Biden is waging a war on oil. Biden's approach to balancing environmental protection with energy production has drawn praise from environmentalists and bipartisan support from coastal communities concerned about the risks of offshore drilling. Many Americans, regardless of political affiliation, oppose turning their beaches into oil slicks and support efforts to preserve natural habitats. Interestingly, even some oil executives who have historically supported Trump are uneasy about his aggressive drilling plans. According to a Wall Street Journal report, these executives fear that flooding the market with oil would lower prices and hurt stock valuations. Instead, many in the industry are prioritizing shareholder returns through stock buybacks and dividends rather than investing in expanded drilling operations. One Texas oil man who donated over $1 million to Trump's campaign told the Wall Street Journal that Trump's proposed production surge could absolutely crush stock prices. At a Mar-a-Lago fundraiser, oil executives reportedly urged Trump to scale back his rhetoric, reflecting concerns about market stability and long-term profitability. While Trump promises to lower gas prices and ramp up drilling, much of the oil industry is focused on infrastructure improvements, such as pipelines and export terminals, and pushing back against Biden's electric vehicle initiatives. Expanding drilling is not even a top priority for many executives. Instead, they are more concerned about maintaining market competitiveness and adapting to changing energy demands. Another key point of contention within the industry involves methane regulations. Smaller oil companies are pushing for Trump to eliminate methane emission standards, arguing that compliance costs are too high. However, larger companies that sell natural gas to environmentally conscious international markets, especially in Europe, support keeping these standards in place. Weakening regulations could make their products less appealing overseas, creating another divide in Trump's fossil fuel base. Biden's strategy not only locks in environmental protections, but also forces Trump into a political and legal corner. Trump would need Congress to dismantle the 1953 law, a highly unlikely prospect given the current legislative gridlock. At the same time, internal divisions within the fossil fuel industry further complicate Trump's ability to rally support for his drilling agenda. Biden's actions showcase his commitment to environmental preservation and long-term energy security. While Trump touts energy dominance, Biden is delivering results. Under Biden, the U.S. is producing more oil and natural gas than ever before while simultaneously pushing historic investments in clean energy and environmental protections. Trump's proposed tariffs add another layer of complexity to his energy strategy. He plans to impose tariffs on oil imports, steel, and other materials, which could increase drilling costs and harm the competitiveness of U.S. energy companies on the global stage. Even major players like ExxonMobil and Valero Energy have expressed concerns about these tariffs, warning Trump's advisors that such measures could undermine their global standing. The irony of Trump, a Republican traditionally aligned with big oil, facing pushback from industry leaders highlights the flaws in his energy policy. Companies that initially supported him now worry that his plans could destabilize markets, depress stock prices, and harm long-term prospects. Meanwhile, Biden's pragmatic approach is winning over skeptics. He has demonstrated that it is possible to achieve record-breaking energy production while protecting the environment and preparing for a transition to clean energy. This strategy offers stability and growth, in contrast to Trump's chaotic and short-term focused proposals. Biden's decision to use the Outer Continental Shelf Lands Act reinforces his vision for sustainable energy policies and environmental stewardship. By leveraging this 72-year-old law, Biden has not only safeguarded critical ecosystems, but also positioned the U.S. as a leader in balancing energy production with environmental responsibility. Trump's energy policies, on the other hand, face resistance from environmentalists, Congress, and even his own donors. While Trump continues to make bold promises about unleashing American energy dominance, Biden is delivering tangible results through strategic legislation and executive action. The broader implications of Biden's move extend beyond energy policy. It reflects his ability to play the long game, using existing laws to achieve lasting protections and outmaneuvering opponents who rely on short-term political theatrics. As Trump grapples with mounting legal and political challenges, Biden is building a legacy focused on sustainability, economic stability, and environmental resilience. In the end, Biden's actions highlight the importance of thoughtful governance and strategic planning. By securing offshore protections and bolstering U.S. energy leadership, Biden has not only outplayed Trump but also set the stage for a cleaner, more prosperous future.